Alright, ladies and gents, if you have ever asked yourself, what about these Behringer $25 pedals, are they any good or not? This demo is going to be about the Behringer Phaser PH-9. I was buying a 10-pack of strings online, and they also sold little Behringer pedals. So I threw in a phaser with my strings. It was about the same price, and I got free shipping by getting it over a number of dollars. So anyway, show you what that is in a second. Let's show you what I'm playing through right here. This is my Dean VX Flying V stock pickups. Only thing changed here is I rewired the pickups so that the pickup selector, I can cut the pickups on and off by turning the volume down. Other than that, it's a stock guitar. I am playing through a bass amp here. This is a Carvin PB-200. It is a bass amp. This isn't even a guitar amp. So let's zoom in here a little bit. You see graphic EQ, kind of static there. Got a little notch I put in it on the parametric EQ, about 600 hertz. Bass, normal, treble all the way up, and then I've got the little boost and some boost in the bass, boost in the treble, and carving out the mid-range. It actually sounds pretty good for a guitar amp. So here's the pedal board here. So you see what we're playing through. You can see I got a lot of stuff here, but what I'm going to focus on is that guy right there. And then I just cut on with the blue. It's a little $20-something Behringer Phaser. Like I said, I threw it in. It was so inexpensive. You know, hey, let's see what this thing is all about. So this is the Flying V in the middle position between the two, humbuckers. Playing through a little distortion. Let's get it through there. Just for a minute, let's talk about the line selector. What that's doing is selecting between this distortion pedal, the Hot Rod, the Behringer GDI-21, and with it off, it's clean. So the only thing going through it now is my signal goes into the limiter, into here, no distortion, hits this little delay pedal, then a noise gate, and the graphic EQ, but I have that off right now. I'm a little out of tune, but that won't mess up the demo at all. Alright, so here I am. This is the bridge position, a B major chord, A major. So you hear what it sounds like clean. Here's with the phaser on. I've got the little swirl thing down. It sounds better to me that way. I've got it on a real slow rotation. If you could look at a clock, this would be like 9 o'clock where I got the thing set. So A chord. So you can hear the real slow rotation there. I kind of like how it sounds. It is probably not the same thing as a one of the MXR Phase 90s, but close enough for me. You can see in the order I've got my limiter first, then I've got the phaser, and then I go to all the rest of the pedals. I like the way the phaser sounds in front. I don't like how the phaser sounds if I put it after the distortion, but if you have a bunch of pedals, you can certainly pick this up and put it behind your distortion and hear the difference. So I'm talking too much. So here's what it sounds like with the Hot Rod. So that's some kind of mid-range distortion. Here's the GDI-21. I've got it set on the British amp, so it's supposed to sound, I think, kind of Marshall-like. Same thing, I'll start with the B chord. And that should sound a lot like the Van Halen 1 kind of sound. That's what Eddie Van Halen did on the first album for Van Halen. He used a Phase 90 with a real slow, sweet time. And you get, like, he talking about love, that kind of thing. You can really hear it on things like Atomic Talk. So. So that's not to say that this $25 pedal is going to make you sound like Van Halen, but it kind of gives that warble sound. So let's cut it up. This is about 1 o'clock or so with my foot, if I'm doing this right. So you can hear what the sweep sounds like with the heavy distortion again. Alright, so let's cycle through our distortion pedals again. So now I'm back on the Digitech Hotrod with the mild distortion. Without the phaser. Alright, let's go to that GDI-21, a little heavier distortion. Alright, no distortion. This is the going right to the amp. And I've switched to the mid, so I've got both the neck pickup and the bridge pickup on. Now the neck pickup only. Same thing, I'm going to do it with the hot rod. Neck pickup again, going to the GDI-21 and the Marshall sound. Bridge pickup. Neck pickup. Alright, let's hear the same kind of runs without the phaser on. That was the neck, by the way. Here's the bridge. Phaser back on again. Let's cut it up all the way to, let's get it real. This is about 4 o'clock. So you hear it warbling along. Neck pickup. All right, let's go. This is clean. Hot rod. Kind of sludgy there. And then this is the GDI on the again, the British amp. It's got that real kind of machine gun thing going Let's hear what it sounds like without it there again. Bridge pickup. Yeah, I really don't like the warble on that. That's just a preference thing, but for a phaser, it seems to be doing it all right. Let's see, I'm moving it with my foot here. Again, we're back 9 o'clock. And I'm not even doing this with the swirl thing up. It's all down. I think it sounds more subdued that way. All right, net pickup. All right, let's go to the hot rod so you can hear that. Mid pickup, so it's between the two of them. And we're on the hot rod. And let's switch over to the GDI-21. And now I'm going to do that little trick where I've got my neck pickup turned all the way to 0. I've got my bridge pickup all the way up, and I'm going to click back and forth and do the chopper thing. So let's do it without the phaser. You kind of get that sound again. So there you have it. That's what you get for a $20-something Behringer phaser pedal. So it's probably not as fancy as something else, but you know, for buying a set of strings and throwing in a phaser pedal, I'm real happy with it. I think it sounds pretty good.